Hi guys, I'm live. How you guys doing? I just want to do a music theory lesson right now, and I want to do it on a topic and with an approach to that topic that first of all, a topic that doesn't get done very much, and an approach to that topic that I don't think has been done. So here goes. Let's do a music theory lesson. Yeah. I want to talk about the subject of modulation, going from key to key. People don't talk about that much. They don't even talk about the scales you play once you know what key you're in. And they talk about what key you're in, but they don't talk about very much how to go from one key to another. They just leave that completely up to the composer, player, just, it's either they don't get it and it goes over their heads, or they don't care enough to tell you what they do know, or they don't think it's important or something like that. I don't know, but I do, and I'd like to do a lesson on modulation. So here we go. Now, before whatever key you're in, you're in a scale in that particular key, and the main scales are major scale, which means you're in a major key, and harmonic minor scale, which means you're in a minor key. And the other big one is the minor pentatonic scale, or to go with that is also the blues scale and the Wiseman scale, which means you're in a blues key, or you're just rocking out in a rock key. But rather than go into that detail, let's just talk about what key you're actually in and what it means to go from key to key, and what to think about when you go from key to key. Okay, so I'm going to use the note E as a basis for this. I tend to use C because it's the major scale with the white key piano, and I'm a guitar player. And on guitar, the high string and the low string are both E. The more guitar-friendly key than C. So let's choose E as our target choice, and just analyze this. Okay. Now, starting in E, there's only a few ways to modulate. The first way I want to mention is up and down the circle of fifths or fourths. So you would go from the key of E to the key of A, which would be up a fourth, or from the key of E to the key of B, which would be up a fifth, and so on. That's the most pleasant sounding modulation there is. That's the most easy to get away with modulation. If you go up a fourth or down a fourth, up a fifth, down a fifth, you're almost guaranteed to sound good. It doesn't matter what you're thinking, you're always going to sound good if you go up or down a perfect fourth or fifth. It just works that way. And then on the opposite extreme is the chromatic scale. That's the most dissonant, ugly, hard to get away with modulation, is up or down a half step. So from the key of E to the key of F, or from the key of E to the key of E flat, or you could call it D sharp, up or down a half step. That's very jarring. It's the most jarring, modulation you can do, really. If you want to shock them and sound like you almost don't know what you're doing, go up or down a half step. You'll do it. So those are two possibilities, and that takes care of going up a perfect fourth, down a perfect fourth, up a half step, or down a half step. That's already 1, 2, 3, 4 keys you've modulated to out of the 11 possible once you start with E. There's not that many choices left. Well, here they are. There's masculine interval modulations, feminine interval modulations, and also the nondescript or androgynous modulation, where it's feminine and masculine, or both, or whatever. Those are the only choices left. So let's go over those. Let's start with the masculine. The masculine intervals that you can modulate with, the masculine intervals are the whole step, because it's up 2 perfect fifths, the major third, because it's up 4 perfect fifths, and the tritone, love you, because it's up 6 perfect fifths. 6 perfect fifths, and since that's 3 whole steps, and each whole step is a masculine modulation, the tritone is at least partially masculine, and the whole step and the major third are masculine. Next, the feminine. Feminine is the minor third, and coincidentally enough, also the tritone, because 2 minor thirds make a tritone. So it's going to turn out that the tritone is the androgynous modulation. It's neither masculine nor feminine, yet it's both. But the feminine modulation is the minor third, up or down a minor third. That's all the possibilities there are. What I just mentioned. You have the perfect fifth, perfect fourth. You've got the half step chromatic thing. And let's go over a little bit more detail the masculine and feminine ones. So if you're going to do the masculine one of whole step, that would be going from the key of E to the key of F sharp, or from the key of E to the key of D. Either whole step up, whole step down. They're simple. The other masculine choice, another masculine choice, is up a major third, so it'd be from E to G sharp, or A flat, however you look at that, or E to C. Because in one case you went up a major third, in another case you went down a major third. Those are masculine modulations. And then of course the tritone is ambiguous, so it's masculine and feminine, and that's just up a tritone, or down a tritone. It's the same thing. It would be from E to B flat or E to A sharp, however you want to look at it. And lastly, one of my favorites, because I left it for last, did you notice? The feminine modulation is up or down a minor third. So that would be from C to E flat, or from C to A. Both those are feminine, purely feminine modulations. And that's all the modulations you have. You have the chromatic thing, that would be from E to F or E to E flat. The perfect fifth thing, that's from E to A or E to B. You have the masculine modulations of E to D or from E to F sharp or E to D, on to G sharp or A flat, and E to C. And then you've got the feminine modulation, which is E to G. Oh, I did that. I did C last time I analyzed that. Sorry about that. The feminine modulation starting on E is E to G or E to C sharp. I goofed there. I did it from C to E flat or C to A, which is true, but I forgot to start on E. So yes, the feminine modulation is E to G or E to C sharp. Both those are up or down a minor third. And then finally the androgynous modulation is E to A sharp or E to B flat. And that's literally all the modulations you can do. Multiple ones, just do that again. If you want to go keep going and do the same one, or to try a different one. Whatever key you're going to, you're always going from one key to only one key at any given time. So we've just covered all the possible ways to modulate music. And one final note, just before I go, I mentioned that the perfect fifth, perfect fourth modulations are the most consonant, pleasant ones, and that the half step chromatic scale ones are the most dissonant and unpleasant. But I didn't really qualify the masculine, feminine, and the androgynous one. Well, that's up to your feeling about it. To me, the androgynous modulation, which is up or down a tritone, is very spacey, very kind of I don't know, haunted. Maybe it's kind of eerie. Maybe it's kind of startling. It's not as dissonant as a half step, but it's just got a otherworldly quality to it, and a mystical quality, kind of a just an unresolved, kind of a tension, kind of there, but not really resolved, but yet not so much tension that it's unbearable. That's how I feel about the ambiguous, the androgynous modulation of tritone. And then for the masculine modulations that aren't ambiguous, which is up or down a whole step or up or down a major third, I just feel those modulations are happy. They're happy and they're kind of pleasant. They're happy, and they're just you want to raise it up a whole step. It gives you even more energy. It's a happy thing. Up a major third, kind of a bright kind of thing. And same with down a whole step or down a major third. And finally, last and not least, is the feminine modulation, up or down a minor third. And this is one of my favorite modulations. It's the serious, dramatic intense, awesome, passionate type of modulation. Queen did this modulation a lot. The up or down minor thirds. So from, you know, if you started in E, it would be E to G or E to C sharp. Very, very profound and up, and just making a statement and passion and really just digging in and feeling the music. And isn't that rock and roll? Yeah, like opera and stuff. Queen did that a lot too. And also guys like Jason Becker, you know, his whole thing with altitudes had a bunch of minor third modulations in it that made it help feel dramatic and kind of epic. Anyway, so that's my treatise on modulation. I don't think I got all this all this material is my own. It's my own thought. I just want to share it with you guys, and I don't think it gets talked about a lot. And if people do ever were to talk about it, I'm not sure they would really know what to say as much as I hope I have. So I love you guys. Please fucking